The Norwegian armed forces in exile were remnants of the armed forces of Norway that continued to fight the Axis powers from Allied countries, such as Britain and Canada, after they had escaped their German conquest of Norway during World War II. Background: Norway was neutral in World War I and tried to remain neutral in World War II. Neutrality was maintained until April 1940. There were many moves to purchase equipment in the run-up to World War II, including several orders for British, German and American aircraft. Occupation of Norway: the Royal Norwegian Navy entered the war when Norway was attacked on 9 April 1940. Norwegian coastal artillery sufficiently delayed the German capture of Oslo to permit the King of Norway, the royal family and the government to flee the capital, and eventually make the way to the United Kingdom. The Norwegian army was forced northwards from the capital towards Lillehammer, where they were joined by 2 British brigades. It was decided that the Allies should concentrate on the recapture of Narvik, which was entered by the Norwegian 6th Division on 28 May. However, the Allied garrison of the port was unsustainable and it had been evacuated to the United Kingdom by 7 June 1940. 13 ships, 5 aircraft and 500 men from the Royal Norwegian Navy followed. On 10 June, General Otto Ruge signed the Treaty of Capitulation for the Norwegian army. The Germans occupied Norway until the German capitulation on 8 May 1945. Exiled forces. Army: unlike the Navy and Air Forces, the Army was not able to easily escape, and almost all remained in Norway after the German invasion. Some of these men would form part of the Norwegian resistance forces during the rest of the war until Norway regained freedom in May 1945. Norwegian soldiers in the United Kingdom formed units including the Norwegian Independent Company 1 and 5 Troop of the No. 10 Commando. During the years in exile in Britain, the bulk of the Norwegian army consisted of a brigade in Dumfries, and smaller units stationed in Iceland, Jan Mayen, Svalbard and South Georgia. Some units were sent to take part in the liberation of Finnmark. Navy: the forces that had escaped to the United Kingdom were slowly built up over the next few years. On D-Day, the Royal Norwegian Navy attached to the invasion of Normandy numbered 10 ships and 1,000 sailors. During the war, the RNO and operated 118 ships. By the end of the war, it had 58 ships and 7,500 men in service. Air Force. Norway retained separate air forces for the Navy and the Army until the establishment of the Royal Norwegian Air Force in 1944. Some aircraft that were ordered prior to hostilities were delivered, but few were ready for combat. After the flight to the United Kingdom, a training base was established in Canada and many of the pilots joined the RAF in both bomber and fighter commands. Most notable are the 2 Spitfire squadrons, 331 and 332. On 1 November 1944, these squadrons were incorporated into the new Royal Norwegian Air Force and were renamed as such along with new squadrons, 330,333 and later 334. Police troops in Sweden. Norwegian police troops, known as Rikspoliti, were recruited from refugees in Sweden during the war. They were funded by the Norwegian government in exile, and trained by the Swedish military. Originally intended to help maintain order in a post-war Norway, 1,442 were flown in early to assist in the liberation of Finnmark.